Here we are in the Make It Happen Network with strategy number 2, have a vision. So to get us going, Dallas, how would you define a vision?
A vision originally is something that we see with our mind that we don't necessarily see with our eyes. And I know I'm not the first person that's ever said that, but that's the reality of it. It's what we see when we close our eyes about where it is that we're really headed in life. Okay. Now we can see that with clarity, which basically it boils down to focus, which we'll discuss later. But at this point, right now, it's a vision. It's a dream, in essence, in life. It's being able to have a dream, and dreams last beyond a person's life if they actually are manifested. So if we want to accomplish something great in our life, if we want to do something to transform lives, to change the world, we have to have a vision to do that. No one that I know of has ever accomplished anything of any great value without having a vision first, and a dream for doing that.
What do you do if you don't have that kind of clarity? I have a lot of ideas. I have a lot of concepts. I'm not sure I have a clear vision. It's kind of nebulous.
Originally, I think that, and this is my opinion, and obviously a lot of what we're talking about is based on opinion, but our mission statement is to inspire others to discover their passion, transform their lives, and then walk in that passion or that calling on a daily basis. If you haven't found what it is that you really, really love to do, now I'm getting into another strategy, I'm not meaning to jump, but it goes hand in hand. If I haven't discovered what it is that I love to do, it's going to be very difficult for me to have a vision. What am I going to have a vision for? A vision for going out of town, for going on a vacation. That's not a vision. That's just a goal. A vision is something that I want to do with my life that is going to transform my life and hopefully transform those around me or that are associated with that. And I can't do that unless I have a passion about something it is that I'm really trying to strive for.
And what do you say to the people who are watching this and they're thinking, sounds good. Football's on this weekend. I'm not sure I've ever given a whole bunch of thought to what I'm going to do with my big life to transform lives or whatever. Where do they start?
You know, Rich, and it may not be something as big as what we think. When we think about things like that, we think about somebody that's really accomplished something great, or, from politics to, fame or fortune or whatever. It may not be that. A person's passion in life, a person's vision in life may be being a father, being a mother, being a school teacher. School teachers transform lives every day. Parents transform lives of those that we bring up. So don't look at it in that, good Lord, he's talking about the big stuff. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the one person who connects to another person and maybe makes a difference in their life. It may be something small, maybe something you say or whatever. But a vision is a dream. It's just synonymous with a dream. If we have a life that has no dreams at all, basically we have a life that has no hope. And hope is what gets us up in the morning. Hope is what keeps us going tomorrow. Hope is what keeps us looking forward to the future. So if we don't have that, then certainly, hopefully, these strategies and what it is that we're trying to accomplish will help them to be able to do that.
What about when we, for a minute, lose sight, if you will, in our mind, not in our eyes, lose sight of our vision? What are some things that we could do to somehow find a way to get that back?
Well, Rich, I believe that once I have that vision and I know what it is, I should commit that to paper. And I believe that people should commit their top 10, well, a lot more than that, but their top 10 goals to paper on an annual basis. I need to shoot for those for that year. Now, I tell everybody, have a dream list, maybe 100 or more dreams that you want to accomplish with your life. Otherwise known as a bucket list. People have heard of that. But narrow those down to the top 5 or 10 things, and I like to shoot for 10, that I really want to see myself accomplish. And then carry those around with you and read them on a regular basis. Now, there's been different philosophies about putting them away and never looking at them again. I don't agree with that. I think you need to read them and ingrain them in your mind and plaster them at places, and you may do them in different codes or whatever where everybody really doesn't know what it is, but you do. Could be a number or whatever, but something that keeps it in front of you, because you will lose sight. You will. We all will. We all do. We all have days, sometimes even weeks, where we go through trenches in life. We have times in our life where we have tragedies that happen. We have a lot of, and we have to get back on track. And the only way to do that is to have something plastered in writing that can stay in front of us, and we can read on a daily and a weekly and a monthly basis. It can just ingrain and brand in our minds.
This strategy is have a vision. In that word have seems to imply taking some ownership. In other words, having a vision. Could you address that a little bit, the taking ownership of your vision?
Well, you have to take ownership. But originally, what a lot of people do is they end up taking the dreams of others and they try to make it their life. They have what I call the identity crisis, the Elvis syndrome. Everybody wants to be somebody else. And they think that that person has a better life or has more luck in life or has more advantages. And the truth of the matter is, we're all people. Now, some people are born into a more advantageous surroundings. I agree with that. But we're all people. And we all have the ability to do whatever it is that was placed in us for us to do, if we can discover that and then bring that potential out. I believe we all have the ability. And the ones who generally do it, even the ones who physically, mentally, or whatever were looked upon as no way, they were not told that they had limitations, or they didn't believe they had limitations. But the bottom line is, those limitations were not inside of them, and they didn't know any difference. I mean, there's people that have set records because they didn't know that they couldn't. They were told they couldn't do it.
Right. So, do you think I have the Elvis syndrome if I have blue suede shoes?
No, you can wear blue suede shoes. Just don't say hound dog when you wear them.
Okay. Couple of last ideas or tips you might want to share with the people watching this video about that, what you were discussing earlier, that we're going to have trenches, we're going to have periods, a day, a week, even longer sometimes, where we lose sight. What's the best way to get it back quickly?
Oh gosh, Rich, and these aren't obviously pre-planned questions, because you're hitting me with some hard ones, and that's good. When we lose sight of our vision, we lose sight of our dream, I believe, at least for me, what's worked. I've had those written down. I'll have to take time to myself, by myself, to try to get my mind back right. Now, everybody has an outlet in life, whatever that may be. For some people, it's exercising in a gym. Other people, it's reading a book. Whatever that outlet is. But find that outlet and try to come back to who you are. Come back to the basic fundamental of what got you that dream or that vision in the first place. And then meditate on that and get yourself back on track, because no one is ever going to accomplish a vision without being persistent to do it. And my advice for you would be tenacious, be persistent, but by the same token, be realistic in the time that it takes. Be realistic, you're going to get thrown off track. Find you an accountability partner, find you a coach that can coach you. I have coaches in all parts of my life. We need coaches that can hold us accountable, that are experts in that area, that care about us accomplishing what we need to accomplish, and then they stay with us and stay behind us.
And you can do anything as long as you stay off of my blue suede shoes.
That's right.
Strategy number 2, have a vision.